We're going to be jumping into our game number 1 now in the set between these two players. It's going to be on DrArabia, and we already see Vortix scouting around in the color blue, playing as their Ubits. On the other hand side, we got Wham playing Zhuji's Legacy. We are on DrArabia, and this is going to be an absolute banger for set that we're starting right now.
Yeah, so we saw B go with a little bit of the different play style. He went for the military wing into fast castle against Beastie. Just wasn't quite able to let that timing pay off as Beastie got a few of those military units killed out early. So let's see what Vortix has in mind playing up against Zhuji's Legacy.
Yeah, Zhuji's Legacy and the Ubits, both of these civilizations have been looking very, very strong now in the latest patch with the release of the DLC. Could be interesting to see these two powerhouses facing off against each other. Now, Ubits, they can go for multiple TCs, but they can also be played as a very, very timing aggressive civilization with some pretty strong fast castle timings coming in. Wham, with Zhuji's Legacy. Also a civilization known to go for tempo, but at the same time also be able to scale the economy. Could also be going for multiple TCs and then look for a farm transition. Look at that, Vortix going for some very aggressive scouting here. Scouting immediately around the base from Wham, trying to pick off some sheep here.
Yeah, and while it might not be the craziest for, like, you know, Vortix to get the sheep, might not be this huge benefit because he loves the berries. The Ubits love the berries. What it does do is it forces Wham to potentially have to move out to the map earlier on, whether it's the berries, whether it's a granary transition, anything of the sort. You're not allowed to stay under this initial mill tucked up next to your TC for the extended period of time.
Indeed. It also looks like Wham, his scout is trailing behind Vortex's scout, so that's going to feel really, really bad for him. Look at that. We've seen B come out with that earlier, with that military wing, with that free desert raiders that you get, and Vortix, he's going to be thinking of doing the same here. He's going to be getting those free desert raiders out. Very, very akin to his aggressive playstyle.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's these timings. We talked about Vortix with these timing pushes. B, the timing was very, very scary that he had against BC. He just had like his first two units take very bad trades. And I think if he had waited for his mass to get up to, you know, 3 camel lancers rather than having his first two immediately die, it would have been a whole different situation. So probably going to be a very similar build order here from Vortix, going with the Desert Raiders into potential advancement wing, very scary castle age timing.
And this could very likely be the play here for him. Wham's getting the meditation gardens up, safe in his space, but is getting a good amount of resource from that. He's going to be getting 108 resource per minute, 48 from the berries, 30 from the stone, and 30 from the gold. Overall, decent meditation garden, nothing extraordinary, but it's definitely going to be a good trickle of resource, and we can already see the sheep count. It's getting kind of low. A lot of these are carcasses now that are already halfway depleted, and Wham probably has to think about a farm transition sooner rather than later. 11 sheep coming in here now from Vortix's scout. That's a very good food economy that he's got going here.
Yeah, gotta love it, and more importantly, denies that food from your opponent. We're starting to already see that very, very quick tower next to the stone as well. So Wham's gonna want to go more into the macro build from Zhuji rather than more of the aggressive build, which could pay off, or it could be very detrimental. And more sheep being gathered from Vortix. This is, I mean, I feel like Wham has not gotten that many sheep.
Yeah, Wham kind of getting bullied right now when it comes to the sheep count in this game, and this is going to provide Vortix with a lot of flexibility. Yeah, 1 left alive, 4 carcasses. I don't think Wham can go into triple TC. I think it's going to have to be 2 TC into a farm transition.
I mean, even still, if you're having to farm transition, this one Desert Raider, we saw it's going to cause a little bit of reaction. It causes you to build something. That being said, him building any production means he's going to get a free unit, so that is a benefit for his civ. But that's all Vortix wants is a reaction. He just wants you to waste a little bit of resources because he is going to be going up to Castle Age here in the near future, I believe.
Wheelbarrow also coming in for Vortix. Desert Raider is going to make his way across the map. So there's going to be the military wing with the free Desert Raider. Equals around 90 resource per minute that he's getting out of that. When it comes to like pure unit count that he's getting.
And Wham doesn't have any units here to defend this. If he drops a production building, that means no TC, delayed TC. So what's he have to do? He just pulls back on the stone. He's got enough for his second TC, chopping stragglers, and I think he'll just drop that second TC right next to his first, safe and secure.
Be dropping it next to berries just to be able to get some more food in now. He's dropping it at the front side. That's a little bit dangerous with the Desert Raider there, but it's going to be in range of the TC and enough villagers here, so that means that TC very likely to be going up now.
Yeah, he can just build it around on the other side, taking a little bit of unnecessary damage, but TC goes up so fast with that many villagers, it doesn't even matter. Secures up that wood line nice and easy.
Behind that, Vortix, he's got quite a bit of wood in the bank right now. Not as much wood as he would ideally have right now if he wanted to go up to the next age. Don't forget, it's still going to take him roughly a minute to be able to go up to the next age, and he is going to be able to get there sooner or later, but with a lot of wood in the bank.
Next drop off. But see, this is where I think with Vortix, the wood in the bank, it's on purpose. Yeah, I think he could have done it a little bit of an opposite way here, but he can immediately have double barracks, double stables. Okay, double stables is his choice. Double stables, and he'll have a blacksmith to follow after this, so he'll start to get some of the techs in as well. Or he can just save up 200 wood and get a quick monastery drop, get some of those ambulances out on the map.
Yeah, collecting relics with the Dervish is definitely going to be a good choice here for him. Wham, starting to get his first couple of Jugunu out. Now, something with Juju's Legacy, since they have access to Jugunu, they can play an extended feudal age without too much of an issue here for them.
The only problem I see is that extended feudal age is not only do you have to, protect your base, not only do you have to play that extended feudal, you're going to have to make a granary transition potentially during this. Wham is doing a great job, though, walling off not only his base, but two primary food sources that he's going to need with deer and berries.
Their spot here in the front could potentially look to also secure those with some outposts. Vortix. Age up is going to be happening any second now. Shugnu tried to take down the scout here. Age up comes in and immediately going to be queuing some of those camel lances 2 in queue right away. And there is going to be the blacksmith. That's a mosque. Yeah, no, for a second I thought it was a blacksmith, but yeah, mosque is going to be going up. So Dervish going to be coming in to secure some of these relics, and looks like Wham actually wants to send a villager out here now to try and wall some of the relics in.
Yeah, and I don't mind the play with not getting a blacksmith, because you're not trying to take on these head-on engagements. You're not trying to dive the base yet based off of the unit composition. Looks like he wants to just secure more of the map control, get some of the relics involved, try to pick off some villagers here and there that are vulnerable, and then he can start going into more of the blacksmith techs once he's getting free gold from relics.
Camel Lancers now moving out. Wham only got 3 spearmen, not enough in order to hold this right now. Needs a couple more if he wants to be able to hold against these Camel Lancers.
Yeah, the Desert Raiders can do a great job of picking off the spears as well. Big difference here with Vortix compared to B on these Desert Raiders is B lost his first 2 Desert Raiders so quickly. And this is where Vortix has kept his alive, and they're going to be useful throughout Castle. He has 6 units out compared to, or 7 units out compared to Wham's 10. Not too much. Oh, spears though, able to get a good first connection, but look at the damage. You can just see it's not quite enough there yet. Couple units get taken down. And honestly, not the worst trade for Wham.
Yeah, destruction value looking good for him here, and he's also, with the free stone that he's getting from the Meditation Garden, he's getting some of these hand cannon placements in on these outposts. That in combination with the outpost just being cheap with the Song Dynasty for him, that is a great tool for him to have right now to secure his base. And even with these archery ranges coming in now, the hand cannon placements, they're going to do a good job of just helping him survive against these kind of raids coming in.
Yeah, and one thing though, Vortix, he's already got the first relic. He's got the second Camulance out, and so they have that faster movement speed. It's almost like you're on the roost with warrior monks. You move out and about, you get these relics so fast, which just makes that gold trickle come into place so much quicker. Allows you to get all your castle age upgrades, allows to get your eco upgrades, and really have your quicker castle pay off.
Yeah, so this game, I mean, Wham probably realized that this is not going to be a game that he's going to win when it comes to the relic game. It's going to have to be the economy game here in the long term. Now, he does have the advantage of still having an additional gold mine behind his walls. He's got berries behind his walls. He's got double stone behind his walls. The deer behind the walls. As long as he's able to have safe access to these resources, he's going to be in a good position. Now, the archers are going to be coming out for Vortix. It's going to be a Camel Lancer and Archer play. Wham just needs to make sure that he doesn't underestimate this army coming out from Vortix. Sees military. This military in time. Villagers jump inside. You see none go down.
They did take some of the charge damage, but none did go down. So great reaction timing by Wham and pulled his army over there, which meant if Vortix took the fight, if he stayed there, the trades were going to go fine for Wham.
One more units coming out. Dervish takes that relic. That's going to be relic number 4. 5th relic is secured by Wham, and it looks like Wham is going to be looking for a castle age timing of his own here soon. Raheem has a couple more spearmen though for now. Notices that he is lacking a little bit behind when it comes to the mass on those. Camulances take down the horsemen.
Yep. Camulan's going to be able to head on home. Sacred Site does not get taken. Wham does a great job denying that, not allowing additional income, not allowing some additional gold trickle. But Vortix already with 3 relics in, and he's dropping the second monastery or mosque because he needs a spot for the 4th relic.
Wham only needs a little bit more gold now for the age up. I don't think it's going to be the Shaolin Monastery. I think it's more likely going to be the Imperial Official Landmark here for him, Wushu's Legacy, which makes a lot of sense at this point in time. Getting a little bit more tax in there, and you're not going to be getting any of these relics anyway. So there we go. Mount Lu Academy is going to be coming in for Wham.
One single relic that he can have. There are, 9 archers or so moving on forward. Post on the front side going to be dove upon again. Military not quite in position to defend this up as good as the first time, so outpost will fall. Deer location that Wham's gathering at will fall. So he is now on his last food locations. He's on the deer and he's on both berries. So he's on all 3 of them, slowly depleting those locations.
Yeah, he definitely has to look to at least get a little bit of a granary transition going now. Now, the good thing for him with Shushi's Legacy, there is a big discount there, wood-wise. So he only needs roughly like 600, 700 wood to get an entire set of them out. But at the same time, there's going to be the Manjanique from Vortix. So siege play is going to be happening here. And that's going to be very difficult for Wham to handle. And Vortix behind this, he's more than double the military value right now. That's a lot of camel lances, a lot of archers. And this push is going to be deadly.
Yeah, this is very, very scary. Secondary TC going to start being focused. Camel Lancers and Desert Raiders just starting to use their torches, burn it on down. Archers stepping forward, just sniping down the spears the best they can. Villagers are inside the TC, and the Mangonel is ready to set up, making sure Wham's infantry mass doesn't step forward. If it does, it's going to take some damage, but Vortix needs to watch out if the villagers jump out and get a quick burn on.
Your official has been sniped. So Wham loses a little bit of his tax income. And now, attack happens onto the secondary TC. It's going down quickly with torch damage here from these Camel Lancers.
Yeah, still has a little bit of idle villagers due to that jumping inside that TC. The damage is coming in, but just doesn't feel like it's a ton of damage with only 7 villagers inside. Great job by Wham dodging all of the Mangonel shots, though. All Vortix needs is 1 to connect. The TC, though, it looked like it was about to drop. It does drop. The TC falls. The 7 villagers inside it run on home, actually.
Yeah, and the Springald is coming out now for Wham. He might be able to hold this. Has to evacuate this entire wood line, though. That's dangerous. And where's the Springald? Where's it coming from?
The Mangonel on the backside has a few spears jumping on top of it. Already down to half health. It's getting taken down quite quickly.
Oh, huge shot on the Jugunu.
And another shot. There's no ability to dodge it. Right into the choke point in between the buildings. And right as the villagers relocate wood lines, they're going to have to relocate yet again. The Mangonel does fall, but Vortix, he still has a huge military mass here. He's only down 9 villagers after all of this, which is easily made up for by relics and sacred sites.
15 villagers have gone down, and now Vortix looking absolutely dominant. He can just remass siege now behind all of that. Can cancel a couple of these archers, get another Manjanique out. Wham, he's starting to get some crossbow now. Doesn't have a farm transition going though behind this. The food economy for him, it's gonna start hurting. And now, fight is gonna be forced. Archers teetering off onto the spearmen. Spearmen have to be so careful. Can't lose these numbers. But he might be losing them.
Archers keep stepping up. Villagers that pop out of the TC getting taken down. The Springald, nothing to really shoot at. There's no more siege on Vortix's side. And the spears, there's only 7 spears left, and there's more camel lancers than spears at this point now.
And the army from Wham, slowly but surely falling. Camel lancers now engaging after the spearmen have been cleaned up. Crossbowmen trying their best together with the Shuganu here. And the camels actually do get cleaned up mostly. Only archers remaining, but it's a lot of them.
Only
Too many to clean up
remaining, but you say that. What does Wham have remaining? One single military unit out, one single chook out. The villagers get cut off. What great pathing by Vortix. He just knows exactly what Wham needs to do. He blocks all of the villagers before they can get into the TC. Takes out every single one.
Arrive. And GG gets called. Wham taps out of this one. 2 TC. Against the fast castle aggression, it just did not work out. Didn't have enough resources there. Not enough food to be able to pump out more units. And Vortix just being able to choke the Shuji's legacy here and takes the game number 1.
Yeah, we talked about Vortix being that aggressive, being that micro-based player, and aggressive he was. Fast castle after those couple free desert raiders came out. And from there, it was just camel lancers. Just make sure Wham is not going to be able to break out of his base. And Wham got to a point where got denied of the wood, couldn't make a farm transition, couldn't make that granary transition. Vortix overruns the base, takes game number 1.
Indeed, game number 1 now taken. It's going to have to go to game number 2 now to see if there's going to be a tie-up series. And it's going to be on... We can see it here now on Canal, and we're going to be seeing Ayubits versus Japanese coming out. So this time, Wham is going to be the player that's going to be picking the Ayubits. Vortix going for the Japanese, and these 2 civilizations, very, very strong on Canal. And we've seen it time and time again. On Canal, whoever wins the water is going to be in a very, very favored position to take the game. Only going to be a couple of seconds now, and we're going to be jumping in immediately into our game number 2. And here we go.
Right off the bat, we can see these spawns. We can see the villagers moving out. Wham's on the east in the color red as Ayubids. Vortix in the west side of Canal in the color blue as the Japanese. And as Crackedy said, it's going to be all about the water in this game. That's where we are going to be looking the majority of the time to start.
All right, both players opening up with the docks here. Ayubids and the Japanese both getting some excellent bonuses on water, and yeah, that's going to be the opening here. But we can see on the map, Canal, that, yeah, this is usually how this map spawns. You get these, like, canals that go all the way over to the base of your opponent. So if one player wins on water, you can send the military ships all the way into your opponent's base.
Yeah, I mean, I remember casting a game last week. I want to say Puppy Paw won water, and he just had 4 different military ships all along that little river on the other side, and his opponent could not get out with any units, could not get out with any villagers, and then it was just a ticking time bomb.
And Vortix going to be immediately walling that middle side here. Could be looking for an additional dock on the Canal half of Wham, as, yeah, having a dock on the other side tends to be really, really strong, and especially with the Japanese, you're getting a lot of the passive gold income as well, passive stone, I mean, just from being able to gather up the gold. And with that, you're going to be able to get a really, really early emplacement on your dock. So getting a dock up on your opponent's side of the canal can be very, very important.
Yeah, you can also, obviously with the dock on your opponent's side, not only does the arrow slits upgrade help, but it allows you to be on equal footing where your opponent's going to have the passive healing from the dock. You're also going to have your own passive healing from yours.
Sort of evens that out now. Something that Vortix has got going for himself with the Japanese, because you pay so much less for your fishing ships, means that you don't have to put that many villagers over on wood. Means that you can go for a very, very fast feudal age behind that, because you can send additional villagers over to food.
Absolutely. One at least benefit that the Ayubids could potentially get utilized if need be, is the advancement wing. It might not sound like it makes the most sense in Feudal. I would more expect it on maps like, you know, Baltic, Boulder Bay, some of these with shared water where you can all of a sudden have this super quick Feudal Age timing, have a military ship and pop out and start denying your opponent's fishing. But we already know that Vortix walled off the center. There's nothing that a military ship would really do.
Yeah, but hear me out. There's another wing that could be very interesting here on water with the Ayubids. So let's take a look at the House of Wisdom, because there's another eco wing that you could go for. Not the one that gives you the bonus villagers, but rather one that gives you bonus wood. 300 additional wood. That could give you like two archer ships immediately. I don't think that's going to be coming in here, but just keep that in mind. If it comes in, I called it out first.
All right. You did call it out first if it comes in, but only time will end up telling there. Wham's getting pretty close to his Feudal Age. Vortix not too far behind either. You can already see, though, Vortix couple extra fishing boats out.
Yeah, just being able to pump those out very cheaply with the Japanese, but it looks like Age Up is coming in now for Wham. Let's take a quick look and see which wing he decides to go for. Might just be the normal economy wing. And it is going to be the military wing here. Once again, we're going to be seeing these early Desert Raiders coming out. On the other side, Vortix going up with the Coca Township means that he is going to be getting those Shinobi out. And I guess overall, like having the Desert Raiders, they're going to be able to do a decent job with dealing against the Shinobis, being able to snipe them from range.
Yeah, snipe them from range. And also, if the Shinobi think that they can finish off one of those camels, they can always just pull out their nice old melee and do a swing on and do some extra damage onto the Shinobis. And the forward dock, it's actually going to be coming down by Wham and not by Vortix.
So Wham going to be putting up the aggression here first. Vortix has a good amount of bonus villagers right now, rather bonus fishing ships. That's actually quite a lot. 4 fishing ships. Wait, Wham has 4. Vortix got 7. There's a 4. Okay, wait. Wham just suddenly got... Okay. There was 1 in queue for Wham. Okay, so it's a 3 lead right now for him. I thought it was a little bit deceiving right there. These couple of fishing ships are going to make a big difference. And now, double dock on both sides here.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much damage this Desert Raider is going to be able to do if its main objective is just going to be to try to stop the Shinobi from doing anything on his side.
They'll be coming out. It's going to try to idle out the production on one of these docks now. Not everyone can really produce anything out of it right now, as he's still in the Dark Age, Feudal Age, just about to come in now, any moment. Second Shinobi already out now as well.
Oh, blinks on top of the scout. Look at how much damage it does. Wham immediately has to fall back away with the scout, where he was like doubling the health of his opponent.
Now a little bit of a mind game. Wham, he's producing from the other dock, but Vortix kind of anticipates that, and he disables the dock on the other side rather than the main dock. Now a second Shinobi coming in, able to also sabotage the other dock. No units coming out anytime soon here, and Wham, he has to produce all the way from his back dock now.
Yeah, this is where both of those docks immediately get deterred from doing anything. You're already seeing the torch damage come in, the burn damage come in. It all just starts adding up so fast along with that archer ship. And the third Shinobi coming into play.
Desert Raider arrives now, but there is a galley. An archer ship, has to be careful. Shunshin coming out. And sabotage once again.
Yep, so just both of these forward docks rendered useless so far, and the most forward one is going to be going down here.
Yeah, now put on fire, even without the sabotage. But now a Springle ship is going to be coming in.
Behind this, though, Vortix, he's invested into 5, about to be 6 Shinobi out onto the field.
That is a pretty big investment for him right here.
Shinobi do have to fall back away. Yeah, Shinobi will have to fall back away from this location, I believe, just due to the Springle ship being out.
He might just be able to delete his own wall.
Oh, first shot gets onto the demo ship. There's an archer ship here for Wham, and those Shinobi have to fall back away. Actually, 1 or 2 of them fall down. But
Oh,
the
the
archer ship
gets taken
falls
down.
for Wham!
Oh, that hurts. That hurts. That's big damage. Now he doesn't have an answer to the demo ship. And if Vortix chooses, he can just delete the wall, send the demo ship over, and take down the Springle ship from Wham.
Fishing ships pulled to heal up the archer ship from Vortix that was like one attack away from falling, and the next demo ship arrives. The wall gets deleted, just how you had mentioned. Springle ship using its extra speed to get back on away, and a fishing ship gets pulled to heal that back up. But now there's no wall. The middle is wide open, and the Shinobi have taken down 2 of the docks, and more are being produced.
Castle Age is now coming in for Wham, but this is a little bit of a bait, I feel like. Well, it's a little bit of a trap more like, because sure, as the Ayubits, you get that very fast advancement, but if these ships arrive in your base, you're gonna be very, very hard struck with moving out. Wham, though, realize that, gets an outpost up on his gold. He's definitely gonna need that, not just against the Shinobi, but also against any ships coming in against him. Has enough stone for an emplacement on it as well.
Yeah, not only did he get the emplacement onto his outpost, he already got the emplacement on his dock as well. So right as Vortix thought he was about to deny some fishing potentially, he felt like he had to fall back away, only having a few military ships out.
And Vortix behind that, he is now investing into more demo ships, with enough demo ships to potentially just take down the dock very, very quickly.
Desert Raider just barely poking on these Shinobi, making sure they don't get over to that gold vein.
And now Vortix aggresses on water. Here comes the demo ships. Oh, the fishing ships!
The fishing ships are gone! Oh my gosh. You could say bye to a ton of Wham's food eco. He did get a ton of sheep, but that is just where now none of those fishing boats are working. He invested a lot into that. Will this Castle Age timing pay off?
Kunshin over the canal. Takes down the dock now. Disables it, and Floating Gate coming up behind this now for Vortix, and Wham. He went for a timing window with the fast Castle Age, but he doesn't have any Castle Age units out on the map.
Yeah, and losing all of those fishing boats just means that Vortix's Castle Age has a little bit more steam behind this. There's a little bit more that he can do with it. Still has the military ships out, still has those Shinobi out to still keep the control that he has already had.
Some walls coming in for Wham. Means that these ships, they can't just dive through all the way onto the economy. Floating Gate now coming in, and the timing for Wham, it's closing rapidly. Now, one thing that Wham has going for himself is that he's going to be making golems. And the Japanese, they don't really get a crossbow unit. They do get the Onamusha, which is fast. It does bonus damage to armored units. But it's not really that great of a unit. It can take them down really quickly. It only has as much HP as a normal crossbowman, but it has very little health. Very little. It costs more. It's more expensive, but it only has the same amount of HP. We see some mounted samurai coming in for Vortix, and those units are very, very strong.
One villager does end up falling. Some Shinobi able to, I think that was a Gulam they just sniped out very, very quickly.
Yeah, Gulam pretty much one-shot there by all of these 5 Shinobi, and it's very rough right now for Wham to move out. It's coming in.
Desert Raider got cleaned on up. The other Desert Raider getting forced on back from those mounted samurai. Charge goes down. Attack on after that. And the Shinobi are just waiting outside of Wham's base. Vortix, he might not be able to spread the ships out along the canal, but he can spread his military units along the canal at least and make sure Wham is still a ticking time bomb in his own base.
Yeah, it would mean that Wham would have to take some very weird paths around the canal in order to avoid getting hit on the way over. Some more Desert Raiders coming out now for Wham. Dervish also. First one's going to be produced. There are some relics here on this map that you definitely might want to gather up. Shunshin not coming in.
He thought about it. You could tell he was about to do it.
Yeah, 100%. This position now is going to be very difficult for Wham. We can see in the economy count, Vortix 10 economic units ahead right now. That's just all due to the fishing economy that he has, and we can see that he's invested a lot into the fishing economy. Gonna make great use of that. Now we see a couple more Desert Raiders, couple Gulams, a crossbowman. It's gonna be enough to force Vortix back here for now, but Wham, in his current situation, he definitely needs some additional way of scaling in this game right now. Second Yorishiro Relic coming in now.
Yeah, it
for
was that
Vortix, and he's getting free priests with that as well.
Yeah, it's not quite what it used to be with the if the game continues to extend, it's that infinite stacking, but still very, very strong benefit for the Japanese.
Can we actually take a look at Vortix's base and see what building he put the Yorishiro inside first? If it was the TC, or maybe it was just the forge immediately. It's not in the TC, so it might be in one of the forges, or maybe even it's in the there we go. It's in the stable. So you want to get these knights out very, very quickly.
Other priest is just chilling. He's waiting.
And all of that daimyo also coming in. Dervish gets found out though. Shunshin has to be careful. Doesn't go for it.
Backs on away. Vortix is gonna be able to move out and maybe deny some of these relics from those Camulances. And oh, he goes back onto the relic, but look at how much damage those shinobi are able to do.
Yeah, and oh, another dervish just gets sniped out immediately by these sprinkle ships here. Super, super awkward for Wham to try and get anything done there with those ships right in front of his base.
Wham's finally moving out of his canal. Looks like he is trying to claim the berries on the southern side, but I feel like this is one of those things that once Vortix spots out, he's like, all right, your food's starting to hurt. Let me go punish it.
And now, first daimyo has come in for Vortix, immediately going to be producing one of the samurai bannermen, the katana bannermen, and now just going to be fully transitioning into samurai.
Gonna be hard for Wham to deal with this. He does at least have that Gulam, have that crossbow infantry. It's just not gonna ever be able to like equalize the way that Vortix is with his economy behind this. The fishing is just so strong when it comes to that food income.
Some Honorable Geisha also coming out here for Vortix now. Gonna be getting a good mass of units out. Wham right now, military-wise, only sitting on 22. He's got a Manjanik now. Manjanik is going to be able to do a great job of starting to clean up the water here. Just has to be careful to make sure that one is going to get sniped.
Yeah, the Mountain Samurai, they're just kind of waiting, watching for their opportunity to do something. Behind this, Vortix is still trying to take the sacred sites. He's trying to take some of those controls, and as you had mentioned, he's making that transition to Samurai. So I feel like it's just this timing that Vortix is waiting for an all-in. If we know Vortix, he loves his all-ins. It's just waiting and watching for that time to do it.
It's a lot of Honorable Geishas now coming out. Veterancy on them as well. Now, a great unit against these is actually going to be those Golems. They do a good bunch of damage against these unarmored units, as well as the crossbowmen also are going to be able to deal with them quite well as a backline. And last but not least, the Desert Raiders with their massive, massive melee armor. Actually, they're a really good frontline here.
And we saw that first ship of Vortix's go down from the Mangonel, and Wham has broken out of his base. He just waited and stayed patient and didn't let the pressure, break him over here.
Indeed, the question's going to be if he's going to be able to hold what's coming for him here. As we can see, the Honorable Geisha army, it's going nuts right now. There's 27 of them out already. They're so cheap. We can mass them so quickly, and they're very, very fast as well. Wham, he's gonna have to be careful here.
Yeah, I feel like they're that unit too that like you don't let them get masked up too much, or else they're just impossible to deal with. Mounted Samurai going ahead and taking the dive. Honorable Geisha taking the dive, and it is a head-on clash. Mounted Samurai circling around, one to get on top of the Mangonel, one to get on top of those crossbows, and Vortix is looking to clean this army.
Geisha doing a great job here. Crossbowmen trying their best. Couple of shots out from the Manjanik. There's a sprinkled ship here, but it looks like Wham's army is just going to get completely wiped. The Katana Bannerman aura means that all of these Honorable Geishas, with their incredibly fast attack speed, just able to dish out so much damage here. And the Manjanik gets cleaned up as well. And now Wham, he's got no more military left.
Yeah, the main military, there's a few crossbows, a few Gulams, and then that sprinkled ship that you see here being burnt.
Sprinkled ship. A little bit too close to the coastline. Gets taken down.
Villagers that moved out on those berries in the south, they're having to jump inside the outpost. They're going to have to run on home. There's not enough to defend this mass, and look at how many more units Vortix already has out again.
The It just keeps happening. And one mounted samurai gets converted. But the dervish gets taken down as well.
Yep, crossbow mask getting closed on. Wham trying to micro that back, but the Onification, they're just so fast, able to get on top of the crossbows, get into the eco, and Wham, he's already got 16 idle villagers. It's about to be a lot more than just that. Economy in the north isn't idled for now, but Vortix is taking it to the base.
And there's a stream of units going across the canal, and with that, game is going to get called Vortix now, 2-0 in the lead.
Yeah, very, very clean game there. Was able to take water, was able to punish that attempted faster castle timing. It's one with Canal. If you don't win the water, you usually don't win this game. Although Wham, he got pretty close to being able to break out of it there.
Yeah, there was a moment in time where I think Wham might have had a chance, but overall, it just goes to show water so important in here. And I think that fast castle age, it's a little bit of a false sense of security. You think, okay, I'm getting a timing in castle age, but in theory, in the end, you're not really getting a timing, because with that added food economy that Vortix had from the water, he was able to get up to castle age not shortly after, and in that castle age time, Wham didn't really manage to achieve anything.
Yeah, he's still not able to break out of the military units that Vortix invested into, compared to Wham not really making anything but the Free Desert Raiders. But enough about game number 2. We have seen Vortix take the lead, but will Wham be able to get his foot up on the reverse sweep? Ottoman versus Mali. These aren't the newest civilizations, but they were the first expansion over here. Still a classic matchup, and it is Gorge that is the map.
The old new civilizations that we get going on here. And we're going to be jumping right into this game here. Not much time in between them. Ottomans versus Malians. Here we go. Wham vs Vortix. Game number 3.
And it is beginning here now. We're seeing the scout head across the map. Vortix as the Mali in the color blue. Wham as the Ottomans in the color red, and this is Gorge. Immediately, it's not a military school. It's going to be the barracks drop to get the pressure down even quicker.
Yeah, Ottoman immediately goes for barracks. Only 100 wood for that. Military school, as you mentioned, it takes a little bit of time to ramp up those spearmen, and Wham wants to immediately get some across, and it's a good thing to get them out very early on, as you're able to do damage to those houses around the pit mine.
It's not like Mongols where you're going to be getting some raid bonus, some extra bounty on in, but it still makes Mali be on the back foot, doesn't allow them to be in their comfort zone. And if you look at the secondary golds for Vortix, it's going to be very difficult for him to reposition to another gold vein if Wham can keep up that pressure. Both far off in the east, the other one pretty close to the mid-map market in the west. And if Wham gets that outpost up, if he decides to go up forward with a villager for an outpost, yeah, I believe so, then it really does provide a lot of knowledge and a lot of denial.
3 spearmen out right now on the field. Almost has enough wood for that outpost. And yeah, the first house is going to start getting attacked on now. Question is going to be, I mean, Vortix, he doesn't really have a great spot now to drop a Saharan trade network if you want to play with a more defensive landmark for his gold mine. It's going to have to be the Manzakar. I think if he gets a Saharan trade network out, it's going to be in a really awkward spot where he won't be able to protect all of the houses anyways. And now the outpost is being placed here right in front of the pit mine.
Yeah, lovely positioning for that outpost, and there's no way that Vortix is going to be able to deny that. 0 wood in the bank, 0 villagers on wood, so no production that's going to be dropped in any time in the near future. It's got to be feudal age, and that is when he will react after that.
Outpost slowly but surely getting put up, and Wham going for that 5th spearman, so he's going to be able to fully max out that outpost with units inside. Get all of the arrows out. With 5 units inside of the outpost, you're going to be able to 2-shot villagers. So if Vortix decides to pull villagers, he's going to be losing at least a couple.
And Wham just opting to burn down the houses instead of going for the pit mine. Wants to say, hey, I know I can get these fully destroyed instead of maybe potentially, taking a lot of time on the pit mine, having a villager go out, repair it for a second. But once he gets the outpost up, I'd be shocked if he didn't immediately reposition for going for the pit mine.
I think getting these houses down early might actually be a little bit more value, just because you're going to be forcing your opponent into rebuilding houses rather than getting production buildings up that they usually want to be getting up to get some units out on the field.
I gotcha. Well, the second house has now been destroyed. The third one's being focused in now. Vortix heavy onto those stragglers because he will end up having to rebuild houses in the near future. You can see the population about to max is about to fall to 25 here.
So with the next house going down, he is going to be effectively housed. Even if he gets a production building out, he's not going to be able to get any of the units out. That's where it gets so important to get some more houses out now.
Yeah, everything he's going to be doing with that wood so far is going to be those houses. I actually think he might plan on production building first and then house. Feudal Age has finished, though. And Wham, he's not too far behind it as he's about to at least start his build.
Vortix has made a house somewhere.
Yep, right next to that Mantle Quarry. And he's moving out with that villager over to try to build another pit.
The scout is there. The scout is there. No, it's one spearman.
Oh my god, it's not a scout, it's a spearman.
He's patrolling. He's patrolling. Oh no. Vortix in so much trouble.
Look at the force. I mean, just Wham. He knows that Vortix is going to have to go on the gold. Villager immediately gets denied. Houses have to get canceled here now. And Vortix is in a very bad position.
Archering Q. Is he going to get housed before that, though? No. Wham. He started attacking the pit mine now. He could have almost housed him before he gets the archer out.
Instead, Vortix was about to build a house instead, but and lets the archer arrive. House is being built ahead of the gold. Wants that villager to at least be sitting out there ready to move out to the gold when he can. Wham behind this onto the stone. Let's see what his game plan's going to end up being here.
Villager gets found out again, but the archer is in position this time around. Spearman's going to have to retreat. But he is going to see that the pit mine is going to be built here. And so, wham, he's immediately going to have a point of aggression that he wants to attack onto as soon as he reaches the feudal age. This is going to be great intel for him.
Yeah, and it's going to force Vortix to have a very, very split focus. Vortix needs to defend this pit mine location, but he's not really going to be able to do so with a slower army. One archer moving out to that center point wants to start taking down some of those spears, but at this point, the spears jump inside that outpost, and I think the archer took a few more steps than he should have in the middle and got pretty damaged.
He's a little bit dinged up now. I have to run back to the town center. Now, military school is going to be built by Wham.
Heavier on the stone. Villagers on stone, yeah. Looks like he's going second TC. There's no way that's just for another military school. His scout moves back out and wants to see how heavy Vortix is going on to that. Oh no, spears!
No, go back!
There's only one. There's only one that's going to be able to. No, he loses them all. The outpost is free. The outpost is free. He's going to do it now.
He's pulling the builds.
Wait. There goes the out. That upgrade's too late. Oh, this is so devastating. He was in such a good positioning point now. The torches get pulled out. Wham should know. Yep, he cancels the upgrade. He knows it's going to be too late anyways.
Oh, what a mistake here from Wham, losing the spearman. That hurts. That definitely hurts.
And maybe the stone was just going to be for full upgrades on that outpost and a military school.
Maybe so. But now, might just as well reinvest that one into a second TC.
Yep, secondary military school is on its way. The Sipahi, though, they're starting to be queued up, and Vortix is just now starting to make his own Donzos. Again, we talked about that kind of slower army for Vortix, so if he wants to go out and protect this location, Wham can constantly push and pull him with those Sipahi.
Donzos and archers going to be coming out from Vortix. There's now enough stone for Wham to be able to go for that secondary TC. I'm not sure. I feel like secondary TC, with the great start from Wham, I think that was unnecessary. I don't think the second TC is necessary when you had such a great opener as the Ottomans. The military schools just kind of feel like they're enough, but Sipahi here, taking some damage from the archers and the Donzo.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, you should play into the strength of your civilization. Your strength is military. Your strength is keeping Mali on the back foot. Don't let the cow boom start. And if he had never gone onto stone, there would have been military out. That front gold would have never been able to be captured because he already would have had Sabahi out. I feel like a second pit mine might not even ever gone up.
Yeah, I think if you just focus on that second pit mine, just make military instead. Now he's going to be going for that second TC, but behind that Vortix, he's actually just going to go Castle Age. Is this potentially just going to be Farimba?
He has 0 cows. Yeah, this is Farimba.
Oh no, I'm going for that second TC. I think that's just going to kill him. Second TC against Farimba, that's just going to kill you.
This is one of those things that's like the adaptation. Like, Vortix sees something, he reacts. Now he's able to immediately react to the outpost getting taken down as well. He sees that Wham's going second TC, and he's like, all right, well, Farimba, he's going to have too much military to ever be able to be matched and dealt with at this point, even against Ottomans.
Farimba Garrison, this is going to be very tough. It's the landmark for the Malians where they can make units with only gold. They don't need to invest any additional resource. It's not going to be wood. It's not going to be food. They can make all their infantry units for gold only, with a small discount applied to that as well, to the overall cost. And we can see Vortix, he has a lot of villagers on gold, so this definitely does look it's going to be Farimba. And there it is, Farimba Garrison coming out here for the first time in 2023, maybe, in a tournament game.
I want to say
Really?
we saw it on a mirror matchup the other week, and actually, I think B won against Vortix with Farimba in a Mali mirror last week.
Yeah, you don't want to go for Farimba, right? Like, in a Mali mirror.
No. B went with Farimba and won with it.
Really? I remember Mali mirror where the Farimba player lost.
Oh, was it yesterday? Was it yesterday?
Yesterday?
Oh, it was yesterday. Yeah,
pay more attention, I guess.
Yeah, so Farimba was the choice there, and the thing is, you might say, wow, Vortix got a lot of gold right now. Yeah, that all gets spent on Farimba, on upgrades, on everything there. He is good to go here now, and Wham, he's so far away from this Castle Age, but he has a good amount of Sabahi. There's not the Donzos here to protect these archers here yet. Ooh, and the first massive Vortix does get taken out. So this is actually a huge pickup for Wham to slow down this timing from Vortix.
Yeah, that's going to be javelin throws in queue now for Vortix. And they're going to be spawning in packs of 5 from that Farimba Garrison.
Villagers denied off of gold, at least for a split second. Not going to be the biggest deal. Vortix has a lot of other passive gold coming in, and he's got those units that will immediately jump down right next to it. Javelin throwers, high base damage, able to get a lot of extra deeps on those Sapahi.
And now we see Vortix immediately dropping a couple of stables. So it's going to be Sofas with that next to it. And at the same time, though, I don't think he's got the economy to produce out of 4 stables. I think it's a little bit overkill.
I think you're. I think he's a little too.
Moving on to deer.
Okay. I think he's still a little too used to having some cows in play. 4 stable sofa production, along with producing out of Farimba, is quite a bit.
Yeah, it definitely taxes your income quite a bit here, and Wham, he kind of left off the gas now with his units. He's not producing much more. Archers, though, gonna be able to pick off the Donzos. Not able to one-shot them. Not even close to one-shot them, actually. Is there Pierce Armor? And only Tier 1 Pierce Armor. +1 Pierce damage hasn't come in yet. And Wham actually loses most of his archers here to the javelin throwers. Not able to take down the Donzos in time.
I mean, you could just see 3 javelins, I think almost just one-shot that archer. And so Wham losing the majority of his archers, he was trying to position after this battle to go up to Castle Age. But now we're at the point where I think he needs to double down, invest into more units to defend this push.
Oh, the javelins, they do a good bunch of damage here onto the gold villagers. Archers have to evacuate as well. Another archer goes down.
2 gold short from Castle.
That hurts, but he's got another gold next to his secondary TC, so he's going to be fine in that regard. Aeroslits has come in. Archers out there in the front. It's going to be tough to engage, though. It's going to be able to take down the scout, but the Donzos are taking this outpost down really, really quickly. Villagers inside, going to have to hop out some way.
Yeah.
They're making a run
Villagers
for
jump out. One immediately gets taken down. Second one falls as well. This is where that secondary TC, you can already see it's not really paid off. The 9-vill lead, there's already 10 villagers idled still. There's a lot of in repositioning. The military account Vortix has been able to get a lot of these upgrades in play, and imported armor just finished, but wham! Just as we say that, the Sipahi circle around for a good little raid, putting Vortix more on the back foot.
Yeah, this raid is very, very important here for him. On the food economy, that means Vortix isn't going to be able to put out that many sofas right now. Only 2 out, 3 out now, another one in queue. Not as many as he could be having if the food isn't idled now.
And this is right as Wham's going up with the MIA, so might give him that little bit of breathing room. Maybe can get some Castle Age units out to defend this push before Vortix comes on with the full onslaught.
Couple of Donzos here, but there actually are a couple of archers for Wham. He's going to be able to find Vortix as he's going for another pit mine here. Be able to deny that. But now, oh, I think just when Wham is going out to the deer, these sofas, they're going to moving over there.
Wait, some of them just pulled back?
Maybe not. Maybe he found something else that he wanted to pressure.
And Wham has reached the Castle Age. A few of the archers came and helped to clear.
Vortix pushing in.
Vortix is pushing in. He lost a few units on that backside. Villagers, though, needing to jump inside the main TC. Javelins can just tank up this town center fire for so long, and it's not just the javelins, it's the sofa too. You can see 15 arrows going on top of the sofa. It's not even putting a dent into that sofa.
Enters, just tanking here for now. Donzo's now getting focused by the TC. It takes so many shots though, as you said. Sofa also getting focused now. And these archers, they just can't really do anything. Wham is now investing into these men-at-arms, but the high base damage from the javelin throwers means that they're still going to be able to do a lot of damage to them.
Oh, and one of the sofas split off onto the gold on the west, so denied a ton more villagers on the west side. And the villagers finally starting to clean. Yes, villagers starting to clean up the raid from Wham. Wham is at 2 military as the Ottomans. That is the strength typically of the Ottomans, and they have none out right now. Losing a few more of these villagers, so this 10 villager count lead starting to be diminished. We see it go down to 7, 6, 5, 0 military, 0. I mean, there's 3 men-at-arms in queue, 1 mangonel. That mangonel needs to have some of the most godly shots that we have ever seen in our lives, and no focus by Vortix at all.
A massive amount of Donzos here out on the field. Such a strong front line for Vortix, and the men-at-arms, they just can't deal with that. The sofas as well, they're going to be doing excellent damage here against those units. Some of the javelin throwers did get taken down, but Vortix, he's just camping the MMA right now. He knows that mangonel has to be coming out. So more villagers going down. Equal villager count. Well, he's dead.
He's been dead, but no military onto the field. He was trying. He did everything he could, but again, I think this all boils down, 1, to the secondary TC play, and 2, to losing the spearmen out and losing that outpost positioning right before it was going to be upgraded and enforced.
Yeah, Castle Age versus Castle Age now. The Farimba garrison. The old strength from Malians hitting again, and here it is. Mangonel coming out, immediately gets taken down by the Donzos. Men-at-Arms trying to defend next to the town center, but the Sofas doing bonus damage to the Men-at-Arms. The ideal counter here for Vortix, and now Wham behind in villagers by 11. 27 villager kills so far in this game. And it all comes down to that choice of going for that second TC. After an amazing early game here for Wham.
What a crazy, crazy day we have had in store, coming into conclusion here as Wham, he's trying to hold, it's his last game, his last tournament game of the year over here, as this is going to be the game decider for him. Vortix moving on to the semis and Wham being sent on home.
Arms count still building, but I mean, it's just a writing on the wall at this point in time. So many sofas, they're just going to be able to immediately kill all of the men-at-arms. Men-at-arms barely going to be able to do any damage against them. Javelin throws taking them down. Second TC goes down. More villagers falling. More men-at-arms coming out. But at this point in time, GG is right around the corner.
Yeah, we definitely know with the God view, and I think Wham has known this for a while here in this game too, but it is the last game. You can't blame him for it. Just do anything you can to try to hold, try to extend. It's just not looking good. He is falling below 30 overall population, and game 3 goes over to Vortix, gets a 3-0 clean sweep.
Clean sweep on the board, and that means that Vortix is going to be moving on to the semifinals here. And with that, now we know all the players that are going to be joining us in the semifinals here next week.